Very much for giving us this opportunity to support the group. It's a big thing for us. We don't take it lightly, and I wanted to start with just giving you our pledge. And the pledge is this is going to be training session 1, and we named it that on purpose, right? It's just the very start of it. Hopefully, I did a decent enough job of giving it the step-by-step on how to set up your system to be able to get in. There's a lot of things when you go to the cloud, and unfortunately one of them is the browser wars that we all kind of know are happening and sometimes get very frustrated by. And so the step-by-steps are really careful and very specific about how to avoid things like if you happen to be on Windows 10, and you click on a link that says, hey, just load this little plugin, Microsoft will take you and make you think that you have to load Chrome all over again. And you don't. And so you have to take that link, put it into your browser, and follow through. So that's just the preface for, it's very specific, the few steps that you have to take. But there's only a few of them. And once we get past them, the system kind of works very nicely. So we have a lot of clients on it. We're not going to train you on everything in one step either. So this session, you can go forward, Brett, is really about making sure that you can easily find a member profile, right? So anybody in this group, your profiles can all be loaded in very quickly. We're going to walk through the process for that. And you can understand each other's offerings. And there's a very specific section in it that says, what am I looking for? And if you take time and are thoughtful about the response that you put in there, it'll be top of mind for each of us. It'll be what we're looking for you, and it'll be why we go in and create a referral. There's tools to allow anybody to enter a referral for you. And you can, anybody in this group can send one to anybody else. The beauty of it is, if you send a referral to somebody, you get to follow that referral through to its logical conclusion. So if you go to the given in your area, you'll see everything you've ever given anybody. And if you look at the statuses, and you can filter them by statuses, and if you've given a referral, which is a warm, lead where you've made a personal introduction and gained permission from somebody to have somebody else call them and provide a service to them, then you can say, hey, if you're not following up, I can come back in on any given Thursday morning and poke you and say, hey, I've noticed you haven't followed up. And hopefully the response is, I did, I just didn't update it, right? Which will just train us to be thoughtful. And it's just, you don't have to do that, but if you do it, it's just good hygiene. It's good sales hygiene, right? It's what makes us want to give you another lead. When you know that you refer somebody and they're taken care of, it's a really important step in the process. You can also manage your own leads in a different way. So certainly the referral process is there to, top to bottom. Some of us are in businesses where there are solutions and a much longer sales cycle, or there's many steps in order to get there. Jim's actually been on the system for a couple of weeks, and Jim has a form that he now uses to take intakes for folks who want to join this process. There's actually a multi-step process. People come, they express an interest, they have to be scheduled into a meeting as a guest. They may make a decision then or not, and he has to nurture them through that process. He's defined his own process, and all those leads fall into that process very easily, and he's able to move them and track them and know how they move forward, click on a gem and say, I'm going to schedule a follow-up, and it's on his to-do list. So there's a much more detailed process. The beauty is you all have access to the entire platform. We didn't shortchange you. We just can't train on everything in one session. So just know that that's going to be there. And finally, you can get organized around an initiative, a joint project, things that you would work on and collaborate in a session. One of the examples I'll show you on how I'm chatting, I've actually hijacked Sam Buford's profile this morning, and I'm going to actually walk you through some examples of Sam's. Sam was a beneficiary of that process because I've actually built his built his profile in ClearGem using his website and information from LinkedIn in there, and Sam can absolutely go edit it, and I will give him a new password as soon as we leave here and take over. But just as an example, right, Sam and I can enter into a program where we're working on something, and he happens to have formed a board on, for a very special high school here, and he's interested in how ClearGem might be able to support him. If we end up working on that, Sam and I can have video conferences, voice conferences, screen share conferences. I can track the workflow that we're on, and Sam can see where we're at on our program at any point in time, because we've decided to enter an initiative, and that's a private session just between Sam and I, and that workflow board is only visible to Sam and I, or Sam can create his own ClearGem instance, right? Decide to sign up for $29 and have 10 seats for everybody that's on his board to be able to access it. It's very inexpensive. It's an easy way to transition, but it's a way for the group to pull together around charitable events. Anything that the group wants to organize in any small sessions, we can put it on the platform and have it well supported. So, and we're here, so if you need advice on it or templating on it or anything like that, we're happy to help, and that's free of charge. So, and then finally, so organize and manage project content. And so there's a lot more even beyond that, but that's good enough from introduction. So I wanted to, go ahead, Brett, kind of walk through today's agenda. So real quickly, sort of that browser settings and screen share plugin, and then how to find help in ClearGem, the people directory and your profile, how to build it. Everything from putting your avatar in there, all your background information, finding a member in the people directory, and then how you use the people directory to initiate a chat conversation or send a notification. Go ahead. And then from there, we'll navigate into the ClearGem chat application and how to create a contact or a group. And then Chat 101 basics, how to initiate a call via your computer to anybody else in the session, how to do a screen share session, how to use the various aspects of the chat tool. And then we're going to get to the real meat of what we want to do, which is how to use the referrals app. And that's just an app overview, how to give a referral, how to receive a referral, how to update a referral in the system, and then how to do referral statistics. I'm going to give you a preview as well. One of the things that Jim called me last week and said, hey, I know you guys are developing mobile apps but don't have one out. Is there a way we can create a mobile form so that no matter where I'm at, if I get out of the gym or I'm at a coffee shop and I have my phone on me, could I click on I just want to click on an icon on my phone and pull up a form where I can send a quick referral to somebody and have it move into the referral system. So I've actually already created that form. We have a technology that's called Actions technology, and so that form today can move it to a workflow board or something else. What it doesn't do yet is move it into the referrals app, but our engineers are working on that as we speak, and so within a week or two, we'll have it up and tested, and you'll be able to do that. But I have a slide in here to show you how to access that form and put it on. Okay. And then finally, just how we'll record notes from the meetings and send it on. And then our homework assignment will be, go out and use this now to enter your referrals. Jim gave statistics this morning, did include the 3 referrals that I received, one from Sam, Jenny and Rob Harris gave me another couple of referrals, actually a couple of different project opportunities that are in there, but they're actually in ClearGem already. So I already did my homework and put it in there in advance. So you can see it. Okay, I think let's go ahead and move forward. So, first of all, just a high-level overview of what's in your ClearGem installation. It starts with a project's app capability, and that's the ability for you to create any project and their task boards, which we call Kanban boards, and you can define any workflow and define any set of tasks and then move them through a process through drag and drop. The next tool is the wiki, which is in any project, you're going to generate things like requirements or documentation or outputs. It gives you a place to put that documentation so that anybody on your team that's working with you can access it. And there's a way to link the project tasks to where that content is stored in that wiki. There's a tool called Chat, so that as you're working on that project and you need to talk to somebody about it, if you're working on a task card, you click and you can move that whole task card into a chat conversation. It says, hey, I want to talk to you about this. You don't have to type that over again, and then you can start a phone call or video conference. That's the chat tool. There's a desktop, so it manages your to-dos, your calendar, your notifications. You can take meeting notes in it. And if you take notes in it, or if you make to-dos in it, or if you create a calendar item, you can move those items into a project board or into a chat conversation or wherever it needs to go without having to retype information again. There's a website tool. We're not getting the public and private. Those are just things that we'd create. But you are getting the Forms app, which you're going to see an example of as how we create this referral form. And every one of you has access to it. You can create your own referrals. It's almost like programming without doing the programming. And so it's a very interesting tool. That's something we're going to have future training on. Records app's coming. It's our CRM application. So that isn't included, but it comes with a preset integration language. And so when you want to do something and move data from one place to the other, that's something we can help you with. But the tools to do it, if you were a programmer and you knew PHP, which is the most predominant language out there today, you could do it yourself. But it's something that we can help you create integrations between your websites very quickly, between applications you build very quickly, your old application or anything. It's in the tool set. You get the people directory and you get the referrals app. So today, go ahead, Brett. We're only going to talk about these three things. Right? So that's what the training session's on. There's more, and as you have an interest, I'm happy to, I think we should find a co-working space or something that's interested in joining the group. Maybe bring them in, Jim. That'd be a great addition to our group. And then in return, they'll give us time in the downtown area or wherever we decide that that's best. We can have training sessions for how to learn the other tools and how to move forward. So I'm committed to conducting as many training sessions as you want, conducting workshops on how you would use ClearGem in your business if the group is interested, right? So we're happy to make that. Yes?
So I don't know about anything but not being here last week, but have we been given a website and where to go log in to be able to get into this application?
So that's a good question. In each of your emails, you should have received an email from ClearGem that has your login as of last night. So we do not have a perfect list of everybody on here, but if you were on this piece of paper, you've received it. And if your email is correct, there's 2 or 3 in here that I have questions on, and so I will set it up. If you did not receive an email from them, you can send me an email and I will set you up. All right, so if you're in this group, you have access to it. And if you didn't receive an email last night, then that means either I got your email wrong, could be my typing skills, or I just don't have the right email for you, right? So I can fix that lickety split, so no worries about that. Okay? Yes, sir.
This is being set up just members of this group.
Yeah, that's correct. And it's actually members of this group plus the River Place group. Yeah, so if you're in Networking Austin, you're able to collaborate with anybody else in any other Networking Austin group.
John? I assume this works equally well with PC and Mac?
It does. So PC and Mac, you'll see as we get into this, we recommend that you use Chrome. If you're using your desktop, you're just going to have a better experience. We do support Firefox, and so you can absolutely do the same thing within Firefox. There's just some little UI differences that I ran into as I tested the Firefox. And then everything works great on Safari as well. Safari does not yet support a technology called WebRTC, although they have stated that they're supporting it by the end of 2018. And the WebRTC technology is what we use to allow you to click a button, place a phone call, click a button and do screen share, right? So, and everybody else is, with the exception of Microsoft, who wants you to use Edge, announced support for WebRTC. So that's the catch. And so if most of what you're doing, I use my iPad all the time to look at workflows and to touch with clients and to update my own stuff because I have one sitting around and then my laptop might be closed or in my bag. Everything works perfect on Safari. The thing it doesn't support yet is if I wanted to place a call to Brett, if I was looking at a task card and said, "Ooh, I want to send that to chat and I want to call Brett," the call Brett part, or screen share part isn't gonna work yet.
In my case, I'm a passionate devotee of Safari, so I should set this up on Firefox then just until such time as Safari supports.
Yeah, or Chrome on your Mac works fantastic. Or Windows. Yeah, whatever you want. Yeah. It's a easy, plug-in to have a browser and then have it up there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, good questions. Yeah. Okay, Brett, you can go to the next one. So first is just logging in, right? And so this huge login right there, networkingaustin.cleargem.com, is going to be your login to access the system. And it will bring this up all the time, and you'll have your email that we use to set you up. It's whatever's on that sheet is what I use, and if you want to use something different, just talk to me and we can make that happen with your temporary password, and you can move forward. So that's the URL you plug in. We do, suggest Google Chrome again, like I said, enter URL, next. And then my number one suggestion for you is click on the bookmark icon in order to bookmark it. Next. It'll come in and that'll be your ClearGem logon. Click Done. Then click on this little expansion icon and you'll find, you can see I have a lot of bookmarks. Grab it and drag it over and place it here. You see all my little ClearGem logons? I actually sometimes I want to access my desktop, sometimes I access projects. So they're just URLs. So I create bookmarks for each one of those, and then depending upon what app I want to access as fast, I can open Windows and I just kind of click on them. And so if you've done that, you'll never forget where to go. And that's kind of what the next steps kind of say. Click on the expansion list. Go ahead, Brett. You can always find it now, and then you can take the same thing I just did and do it for the different applications if you start using those applications. If not, every time you click on that login and come in, we have it set up so it goes to the referrals app. That's what this group is about, and so that's where you're going to land on the referrals app. If you want to land someplace else, you can just kind of go to that place, click on that bookmark, save it, and then say, Jim always wants to go to his task board, right? That's where all his new leads are going directly to that task board. He can create an icon and it'll say projects. And he clicks on there, he'll always go there whenever he wants to. Okay, so now that we've done that, you can enter in from the email, it'll be the email that you received it on and that temporary password. And we're going to go now and change your password to update it. It's the first thing you should do. You have 15 days from yesterday evening to update your password. After which you're going to have to call me and say, John, I need to reset my password. So if we can do this soon, we can avoid any churn that would happen from that. So go ahead, Brett. So now you're logged in. This is the referrals app that will come in. The first thing you do is go over and click on that little icon that looks like a person. So the little person guy jumped up, and you're going to go to My Profile. And once you click on My Profile, over here in the right rail, it'll say Update My Password. So you click on Update My Password. Go ahead, Brett.
Excuse me, I'm on my phone on this thing, and I don't see Update My Password on my phone.
Yeah.
It is mobile friendly or not?
It is mobile friendly, not every nuance.
My password.
Yeah, that part isn't there probably. Yeah, so just once you log in and get it updated, it'll be fine.
So when I go to my laptop or my desktop after this meeting and I try to update it, I'll still be able to do it?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no problem. And so this will pop up, and it's, current password, new password, confirm your password, and hit save. And that's really the steps that you have to go through. It's very simple, and once you do that, go ahead, hit save, and now your password's been updated. The next thing, just in our training wise, we're going to go to the chat app, and it's the next set of settings that we set up. And then once we're done with that, we're finished. So click on chat, and it'll bring up this page. And it's going to give you, before we do anything, we're going to set our settings. So up here in Chrome, it'll say secure. If you click on it and then select site settings, next step, there's two things that you want to say. Because you're going to be allowing our app to do voice and video conferencing, you want to make sure that the microphone is allowed within our app. And you want to allow pop-ups because our chat, if you start a session, will use a pop-up. So you set those to allow and hit save. And then you can just X out of that window, and you'll be back where we talked about it. So go ahead.
Hey, John,
Yes, sir.
can you only have video conferencing and phone calls from members of the group?
Right now, it's members of the group. So we are considering the adding functions and features to allow you to call anybody outside the group. But when you start getting into the $29 for 10 seats, and now we become a phone capability and some of the throttling to be able to call larger groups, it puts us in a different price class, and we have to price it differently and do things. So we have decided right now we're about collaboration for groups, right? And really we started as collaboration for teams or for groups like this. We will consider extending that. We just haven't run across a ton of people who said, I want to go outside. One thing I will say that we're adding into our CRM package is the ability to do voice calls, to one-on-one voice calls outside. So if you have a phone number and a contact record and you click on it and you want to call it, you'll click to call. We'll add in the software that allows you to create a direct connection to any cell phone, any phone outside. So we are adding that part.
I use Skype.
Right.
95% of my calls now are use Skype.
Right. Right, and the interesting thing about so we used to use Skype, and our phone quality degrades significantly, especially if we're calling foreign locations and multiple people on Skype. Yeah, on Skype. And so within our team platform, we establish these direct connections using WebRTC, and the phone quality is a lot higher, and we can record the calls, and we can, if we text message it, we keep the entire history, and you can find any URL. So I'm going to walk you through that app, and I'll tell you why I think it's better for the group. But it is nice that Skype is helpful, that everybody out there, Microsoft has it, and it's fairly ubiquitous right now. So, but this comes within. Okay. So next is the screen share plugin that we have to do. So if I was doing this correctly, and I'm not going to do it right now because Brett's driving, I would exit this presentation, I would click on this link, and I would right-click on the link and copy that URL. If you try to click through, it'll bring up your browser, but it will tell you have to reload Chrome, which is not true.
If you're on Windows.
Yeah, if you're on Windows, right, which is not true. And so that's a pain. So I would say copy the URL, and then go ahead, Brett, hit it, and then open a tab. What you'll get is this pop, say the ClearGym screen share plugin, and you'll click on the that says add to Chrome, and then once you've added it, it'll say added to Chrome already, and then you're done.
It takes 5 seconds.
It takes 5 seconds. I mean, it is a really small plugin. And then now you're basically done, and you can X out of that window. Next. So what we're going to do is go to My Profile next, and that's just you click on this and go back to that My Profile. And you can now start updating your profile information, gender, birthday, cell phone, as much as you want to share with the group or don't want to share with the group, you can put in there. Make sure you update your company information, here, and then select an avatar. So Brett, I'm going to ask you to escape out of that, Alt Tab, and bring up the screen. And we're actually in ClearGem, and this is actually Sam's profile. And I want you to go ahead and go through just selecting an avatar for Sam. Why didn't I had it so that it was coming up on Sam? Give me. That avatar. Now watch as I kind of zoom or zoom out. Pick Sam. Save his avatar.
Good looking dude, isn't he?
He is. He's not only is he a powerful man, he's a handsome man. Yeah. There you go. So Sam's avatar has now been saved, and as he goes through any of the information, you kind of scroll down there and just go ahead and hit save, right? And I added all his other information in, and that's it. So now Sam's profile is updated. You can Alt Tab, and we can go back to the. Just put it back in presentation mode. Okay, so go ahead and just move down. So we did the avatar, and then you hit save and kind of move forward, right? And then all we're doing now is moving through these tabs for my background, and you select it on the left rail. Go ahead. Think about this as your cheat information, the vital few pieces of information you want to provide members of the team if they're introducing you to somebody, right? And that's really what it's for. You know who you are, but we just need to know how to introduce you in a few statements. Again, great background and experience, certifications, professional accreditations. Go ahead, hit save, right? And just follow the process. So this is Sam's, profile. He's a tax attorney. These are the areas of his practice. Here's his bar admissions, his education, right? And it goes on. Go ahead. And then just products and services, same sort of thing. Hit save. And then go through social links that are in there. For Sam, I put in his website and LinkedIn. You can add as many new links as you want. So if Sam decided he wanted to share Facebook, he could put it in there. If he wanted to share his Instagram, he could put it in there, and just about any other that you have. And it'll build it so we can find other relevant information. Go ahead, hit save. And then finally, there's the what am I looking for piece, and this is the critical targeting information. And I just ask you that you be thoughtful about what it is, and it's pretty much your 30-second pitch that you give when you get up here, but easily adaptable, as frequently as you want to change it. When you're looking for something specific, you can go in there and update it, and anybody who hits your profile, that's what they'll see. So go ahead and hit save. And the shared profile that'll come up, now that we've added Sam, he would have his picture would be there, and it'll tell you that he's president of Buford & Associates in Austin, Texas. There's his contact phone information, his work emails presented here, and if you scroll down, a nice presentation of all of his information would be there all the way down through. You can click through to his social links, you can find everything in one-stop shop, and ultimately what he's looking for in terms of leads from us is there and available. Okay. So now we just went back up here, and as opposed to my profile, we went to the people directory. And update your information on may be pulled forward, and want to go ahead. If you wanted to filter who it is, you can pick by first name, last name, city, state, sort sort by alphabet, however you wanted to do the sort. You can send ClearGem. That'll just like sending an internal email to them. If you want to chat with them, click that button and with them. And if you want to access their detailed profile, just click on the profile or click on the card, and it'll pop up, and you have access to them.
John?
Yes, sir.
Daily I get calls, and people tend to remember what people do, but they don't remember their names. So does that search capacity also allow you to, like you were saying, for example, if I took a new person, they go, what's that guy who does tax law?
You want to go ahead and answer that, Brett?
Yeah, absolutely. So John was just pointing at the top. There's a search bar at the top, so you can search for whatever information people have provided.
So
Tax attorney, yeah. Tax attorney, and it'll pull up the cards of people who are tax attorneys, right?
tax like
Yeah. Yeah. Yes, Dennis.
I want to get in contact with Shane. So I send him a message. How does it pop up on his?
Yeah, so you're actually in the chat. So if you send a notification, actually, it's probably a good thing for me to just go ahead. Unfortunately, I
You have to be in the system, in ClearGem.
And have it running?
To get the notification, somebody sent you a referral?
Yeah. So if you send a referral, at the bottom as we get into that referrals training, you'll see there's some check boxes at the bottom. You can say, I want to send a notification. I also want to send an email. And so for the emails that's set up on this system, I'd just suggest we always default them to on and check, right? So when you're in ClearGem, if you have notifications that come to you, they would show up right here. And so this is our desktop. So over here, that's the other alternative that most companies use. It's my one dashboard for everything I have going on. So if I scheduled some meetings, there's some meetings that show up here. So Sam and I have an appointment to do a last board meeting. It's either was going to happen on the 23rd or 24th, but I haven't gone back in and updated it. We've moved it to the week after, but it's already on he knows that's when he goes there. If I had sent him a notification, it would show up here. If he and I had some chats, it'd show up here. Now, if Sam wants to rearrange this, he can click App Settings here, and he can drag this over here, and he wants that column over there, and rearrange the board in a way that follows his mental model for how it works. But this is all your recent work is on our desktop. So it's your one-stop shop for everything you have going. I wasn't training you on it today, that's why I had to pop out and show over there, but there's a lot more to the system than it is, but it's meant to drive your productivity. So if you think about it, it should make sense. We probably have it in there, and if we don't, we can add it. Okay.
John?
Yes, sir.
Good question. Each time you use the term CRM, immediately think of Salesforce.com because that's their stock symbol, and
Yeah.
I've been over theirs for years. Does
Good for you.
your platform have any connection with Salesforce in any way?
Yeah, so through our integration suite we can, but we're actually building the next generation of Salesforce.com is our records app. So we've already built it. It's basically an app builder, and it allows you to assemble all the parts that you're looking at here onto any page that you have, and to add any data that you want, and to create the relationships and connections between that data. That's saying a lot, but I can custom develop in a matter of days without actually writing software myself, just assembling ClearGem components and data in a way that allows me to build a very specific CRM for you. Now, Salesforce can do some of that. My last project before I left, before we dedicated ourselves full-time to building ClearGem, was a $500,000 Salesforce.com implementation for a billion-dollar company. It was a 4-month project. There's only a handful of people on that project in order to make it done. Salesforce.com is very expensive. The engineering behind it is very expensive. And you have to have specialized coding skills in a specialized language in order to do it. So all designed to make something that should be not hard, hard and expensive, right? And so we're kind of trying to be the antithesis to that. to offer a price point that gives you better technology, more mainstream technology in a language that every programmer out there could pick up and do. And I built a real estate CRM by myself in a matter of days and did not a lick of coding in it. And that's how we're driving that. Now, behind the scenes, I say, I want to do this, and our object-oriented programmers in PHP are developing and designing the objects that allow me to do that incredibly efficiently. But we will be a challenger to Salesforce.com. We'll start small and medium market, and we'll go forward. It's ambitious, but they also don't do this other stuff as well like we do. So
Thank you.
we like our chances. Okay, so chat. So now you're in chat. So again, you access all of our applications via this main navigation bar. When you come in, everybody's now in there. It's going to say, who do you want to add as contacts? And so if you clicked on it, you'd actually get a list of them, and you can say add it. And you know, every time I click on contacts over here, that list will expand. You'll be able to chat with whoever you want. You can also create rooms, which are really helpful if you have initiatives going on. So Sam and I might work on this LASA program together, so we might create a LASA room that we decide that we're in there. And you can declare a room as open, public, so other people can see and join in, or you can declare it as private. The default setting is private. So even though when Sam logs in, he'll see that room, and when I log in, since he invited me into the room, I'd be in the room, only Sam and I will see that room and be able to access it. Okay. So through that, and these controls up here, I can do a phone call, I can do a video conference, I can do a screen share. And all I have to do is be in the room. And if it's a one-on-one room, that's who is going to get called. If you're in a room that has multiple people, it's going to call everybody, and you'll hear people joining in, and you'll be in your conference call. It's literally that simple. Go ahead. Brett. So this is a fake conversation that Sam and I had. I had Sam had to log into me, but you know, it's like, hey John, this is Sam. You know, just wanted you to know that I am successfully on ClearGem. Hey Sam, that's great. You know, now that you're online, you know, I actually put together a wiki page with some notes from the meeting where we talked about LASA. Here's that page. So all I did was type it in here, copied that link, and I pasted it, and it shows up here. And if Sam wants to access it, he clicks on it, and it'll take him to the page. And he has access to notes because I set it up in an area that says Sam and I can work in it, and that's the only people who can see it right now. So, you know, you can keep the conversation going by entering stuff here. You can, you know, use some simple emoticons if you want to, or you can attach any kind of file. So it can be an email file, a PDF file, a PowerPoint presentation, Excel, you name it, we accept it. And it's very simple to just drag and drop it into the conversation, and there it goes. If you click on this little ellipsis, this expansion slot comes up. And at any point in time, how many of you, raise your hand, you use Skype, and you've been frustrated because you've attached a file for somebody, or somebody sent you a link to something in a Skype conversation, and now you want to find it quickly, but it's like been 10 days and lots of conversations later, right? It is incredibly frustrating. In fact, I was frustrated last night. Something like this. In our system, it tracks it and it's chronological, and so you can figure out kind of the date and look at it, and you'll never lose it. You can also save messages that same way. Ooh, I don't want to forget that we had this conversation. That's a really important data point. I can save the message, and it'll show up here. Now, if I was in a group room, it'll also give me my members, and I can click on the members and who's offline. All is offline, right? At least you'll know whether you should have that call or not have that call. You can also, go ahead. On every one of our applications, it's hard for you guys to see, but these are those little you have sitting on your table, right? So it looks like that. If I click on that gem, in this is, hey, thanks, John. So you know I'm working on setting up the loss of board meeting. Reserve these 2 days. I'm going to reserve those in ClearGem now, but I'll free up one of them once that date gets set. All Sam did was take that, this defined what we were going to go do in it. He clicked on make it an event. Go ahead. And it popped up a pop-up window, and I forgot to put that window in. Popped up a pop-up window. He scheduled the meetings, and now they're on ClearGem, and both of us received the meeting invite.
All the content went in.
Yeah, and all the content from here got taken in. Yeah. So now let's navigate over to the referrals app and learn about it.
If you set up an event, does it show up on my calendar?
And it does show on in your ClearGem calendar. Shortly, it's so next quarter, as soon as we finish that CRM app, we're creating integration to Gmail and Outlook. And so we've already got the specs for it, so that we're going to allow you to do some back and forth so that you can now keep it synchronized. There's a lot of options in doing that. The good news is that this problem has been solved for a while, right? Because of phones and because we had the different browsers, all had their own email systems, and the population decided it needed to work. All that code is actually there for us, so it's a matter for us picking the functionality and configuring it. So Brett's hard at work on that. It's coming soon. It'll be there. Okay. So now we're in the referrals app again. All you did was navigate via that top bar and clicked on referrals, right? So you can get a referral. You can received referral from anybody, right? So just because somebody didn't go in and enter a referral to you, if Rob came to me and said, hey, I want to redo our website and integrate it into a workflow on ClearGem, I can log that too. I can own that task. He doesn't have to do it for me. So that logs a referral. You can work your referrals within the system and keep status on the referrals within the system. And we're going to look at those two things in just a minute. So I'm going to come back to that. You can also export all of your referrals that you want to do analysis on them, have them on a printout or something else that you want to do. That's available to you. And we track all the statistics. So how many have you given? How many have you received? And if you enter in dollars received from members, because it's work that you did for another member, it'll show up there. And if you enter in dollars received from referrals, it'll show there. Just a quick note on those numbers. We track every referral. So even if it ends up being a referral, it's going to end up in the numbers, right? So, but these, in the dollars, if it's not done, having a done status, then the number doesn't count yet, right? Because it's not money that actually happened. So that's just the update, right? So, there's a lot of stuff that's in process, and then it falls out of the funnel, and just different statuses. You can do that. Okay. And then you can toggle between received and given using this rail. So right now I'm looking at my received, but if I click here, I'm going to look at my given. And you can also find referrals making use of the filters that we provide up here. Who gave it to me? Let me see everything older than this. Anything that's in this status, priority, etc. So let's give a referral. So when you click give a referral, so since I'm in Sam's login, that's who's given by. He's giving me a referral right here. So go ahead, click. Right, so he's giving it to me. All the members are listed there. Who am I supposed to contact him? Because this is actually a project for Sam. And then I can put in any text. I can format it. I can put bullet points in. So it's a single referral, high priority for him. And he just wants to send a notification. If I click here, it'll also send me an email.
Which is default.
Which is the default setting is both of them are set. So I actually didn't want to receive more emails, so I unchecked it. I hit save. You can also attach any, go ahead, any attachments. You can add comments. So go ahead, just kind of. priority. You can set attachments and comments. It shows up here. It's hot. It's not started. It's John Velasquez, and there's date. Anytime I want to work on that referral, if it's in mine, I can click on the gem and hit referral details. Right? So he can go back and look at it and check the status anytime. If it was in my thing, it'll allow me to click referral details and I can edit it and update the information. Go ahead. This little widget here, so we compress it so you can see all referrals at any time. You can drag it and open it so you can read the whole thing if you want to, without having to add details. So that's the referral detail as it pops up. Okay. So let's go to log a received referral. So since I'm logging a received referral, it's a referral I'm able to work on. So now, not only can I enter in all that referral detail, I can actually update the dollars from the members, and I can also update the outcomes. And again, I can send notifications if I want to, same kind of information. Okay. So there's my 3 referrals that I've received. Some I've logged myself, one Sam logged for me, and it's showing up, and I can access any of them at any time. I intentionally added this one here. It's called Big Co. That Jim McCulloch sent me, and you can see that it's in the done status. Because it's in the done status, this is a 250-person ClearGem user opportunity that Jim found for me. He sent it to me. We signed all those people. They signed on. Its annual value is $34,200. They bought everything we have, and they bought services. And so now that it's done, it shows up in the dollars received. All right. So it's all in there. It's all working the way we'd expect it to work.
The easiest way to understand this stuff, when John came to my house and sat with me one-on-one, and went through my deal, it confused the hell out of me. The easiest way and the most effective way to do it is retain what you can. You're going to get a video of everything that was here today, including slides are going to be put in it, so it's going to be very easily understood. And just start using it. And that's what I did. And now I zap around with the thing and I can use it efficiently to help make sales. It tracks all my business performance. It does everything. So this is an introductory kind of presentation. The best way to get it going is to get in there and just start using it. And it just comes. And it's not as complicated as it seems. If you express to somebody in detail how to mow a yard, But actually what you end up doing, you start going official, so it's just kind of the same concept with this. You just got to start using it.
Yeah.
And when you do, it's not that difficult to use.
Thanks. Thanks.
Step-by-step piece created,
Yeah. Also about
not a
video.
video, step-by-step in writing.
Yes. So this presentation is going to be available to you. So when Jim sends us, he always sends the notes for introduce the next meeting. In his next email, he'll have a link. You click on the link, it'll take you to a page. This presentation will be, you click on it and download it, and it's yours. You can follow through, step by step. It's all accessible to you at any point in time. Yeah.
Also, just for simplicity's sake, to give referrals, you just log in and hit the big button. It says give referral.
Right here.
Just
When you log in, you click this button, and then it's really simple. You just fill in the form and hit save. You're done.
everything else is just extra information for sharing your data.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to load the membership in it, or are they going to have, they need to go in and create their own deal, right?
Well, they've all received an email. The link. There's a few people have questions on their emails. So I just got to check, and immediately after this meeting, I'll add there's only 2 or 3 of them. There were some dual people that were listed, but I only had 1 email, so I got to make sure that's right. There's one that has a CPM instead of a .com. I think it's a typo, but I just want to make sure that's how it is. But I'll set it up, and then we just need to make sure if you're not on the list and you didn't receive it from me, send me an email, and I will immediately set you up. It takes me 2 seconds to add a person. So literally, as soon as I receive your email, I will log you in.
Okay?
Okay? I think it's it.
Thank you, John.
Yep, you're welcome. Yeah, oh, yeah, this is our give a referral form that you'll have, and it'll be in the deck. We don't have to go through this today, but go ahead, pound real quick, Brett. So you can, hit the button, add your referral, and it'll show up in the referral system.